Alright, hello. Try to be a bit more on frame. Hello everyone, welcome to the bonus Factorio stream. I'm pretty certain I can be heard. Alright. So for a bit of context, my keyboard is not in the house at the moment. I've got it currently set up somewhere else in some stage somewhere because I'm doing a musical. So I can't do my normal stream. So I figured I might do something a bit different, a bit interesting maybe, who knows, or it might be super boring, who's to say. But it is I'm gonna do video game streaming. It's what most people do on this site, so maybe it's actually the least experimental thing possible. But I'm doing something a little different than I think most people would do. I'm playing a very popular game, Factorio. It's a game about building a factory. It's very good. And it has this feature where you can sort of put down, hang on, where is it? Put down these programmable speakers. And they can, there's a lot of, oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm stuck behind this apparently. There's a lot of interesting properties here, but they can, not connected. And I'm not an expert on how these things work, as you can tell, but they can make sounds supposedly. Okay, I think it has to be connected to the logistics network, not the circuit network. Here we are. So if I just say, I don't know, wood equals 0, and now it's making a sound, and I can have the signal value be the pitch. And I can change the, something or other. I can change the timbre here. Here we are. And there we go. So there's like, you know, there's sort of instruments. There's... Okay, that's interesting. So like there is functionality for like not custom sounds, so to speak, but like sort of custom, like you can change from a list of sounds, and importantly, like signal value is pitch. You can change the pitch, presumably. So I'm wondering, is Factorio, this game about building a factory, secretly a digital audio workstation? Is it secretly a video game about making music? And that is the question that today's stream is determined to answer. As you can see, I'm starting on a file that already exists. That's already reasonably through the game. I've got like a lot of stuff set up. But unfortunately, I'm still not quite ready. Because, you know, I only just discovered these programmable speakers have a lot of ingredients. They're a bit awkward to craft by hand, so I'm going to try to quickly set up... Let me adjust my microphone. I'm going to just try to quickly set up a terrible automation for this. Let me get rid of this. So that's what you caught me in the middle of doing. I've been trying to get the stream sort of... I spent some time getting the file ready, because this is a file that I've played on a little bit, but you know, prior to yesterday when I was preparing the stream, I thought this file was far more ahead in the game than what it actually is. Turns out it's not more ahead than what I thought it was. It is actually less ahead. So I spent a bit of time yesterday trying to get up to construction robots, which I have just about done. I've got construction robots here. There we are. Okay, the programmable speakers are here. We're not going to get any logistic robots, I'm afraid, but that's not too much of an issue. But yeah, this is what I got so far. We'll be getting on to the experimental music we're making soon. But I just want to say firstly that I have not really delved into making music in Factorio before, so this is going to be a completely sort of new sort of not new. This is gonna be new for me, so it might be a bit of a disaster. Who's to say? The one last thing I want to do just before we get. Oh, hang on, wait. Do I have storage boxes? No. Good. Okay, hang on. Okay, I need to unlock logistic bots in order to then have storage chests and passive provider chests. I see. That requires 250. Well, I can just research that now. But I do kind of... I don't want to say I absolutely need that, but I do kind of need that. So... Cool. Good thing that that's the last research we need to do, but it might take a while to finish because we'd... You know, yesterday I was trying to just get this done as soon as possible. And so I did not plan to build for scale or anything, so our blue science production is pretty small. I don't want to get rid of the spaceship, even though it's in the space that I need. I don't want to get rid of the spaceship. It's sentimental. Oh shit, we're very low on green circuits as well. These are the only 2 green circuit assemblers in the entire factory, by the way. If you're a little bit familiar with this game, you'll know that that is not enough green circuits for a factory of any size, let alone... I mean, this isn't a big factory by any means, but like it's not tiny. Like you'd want at least like 10 green circuit assemblers or something for a factory this size. Like, I'm making blue science for crying out loud. Oh well. Anyway, the last thing I wanted to do before I properly got started was a lot of these arithmetic combinators and stuff require copper cables and electronic circuits. I'm not going to bother making a power switch. So I just want to quickly automate these as well. Trying to think what's the best way of doing that. The spaceship really is just in the perfect spot, but I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, here. Let's go down here. I think there's... free. There's another thing is that I haven't played this game in a while. I'm not familiar with the 2.0 circuit network shenanigans, and I've messed this up. No, this is fine. Go here. Okay, I've got plenty of builds, some construction belts. Yeah, so this stream, I had intended for everything to be like ready and I'd have all of the ingredients and stuff that I need to craft, but that didn't quite happen. So, do I just take the copper plates off this? Yeah, sure. Because I need the green circuits, which I have, and this is this is pretty terrible. This is the sort of stuff that I've been doing the past couple days just to get it just barely up and running. And I'm certain I will feel the consequences in due course. Biters are enabled, and I don't have many walls or turrets, so there may come a point where everything just gets destroyed. Hopefully that doesn't happen, at least not soon. Hopefully I've got at least a couple hours before that happens. Copper cable. Nice. Okay. And this should be a fast. This should both be fast inserters. This should definitely be a level 2 assembler. I really should make better use of these hot bars. I am not very good at. Oh my god, we have. Oh, because they're all going into here. Okay, let me do this. Although I am gonna want quite a few of those. Okay. Okay, well you can take all of the green circuits for now, but eventually these will need green circuits as well. So this will make this, this will make this, this will make this. Not exactly sure how many of each of these I'll need. And I am also very aware of the fact that none of these two are going to get... Nothing's going to happen with these two until all of these have been built. There's no way to sort of balance... Well, I mean, there is a way to balance it, but it's not one that I've implemented. Do I want to do some terrible circuit conditions here, or do I just deal with it? Let's just deal with it for now. Just deal with the consequences. I'll have it so that like these chests are limited to 4 stacks. That way I'll get like an initial amount to these that won't be too bad. And then later on I can sort of turn make these chests bigger. That's the way of doing things for now. Are these always working? No, they're not. These are just about always working though. Jesus, okay, these definitely should be fast inserters at this point. And these definitely should be assemblers level 2. Constructing gears. Yes, this factory's not the best factory in the world, believe it or not. There's a lot of manual crafting going on, as you can see. That's just how it is for now. But logistic robots is nearly done. So I think it's nearly done. But as you can see in this graph, the production is slowing down quite drastically. But that's fine. How are we doing for power? Power has also been something that has been a little bit scary with... Okay, this is... What I fool, but this is occasional... Oh shit, what's being attacked? Yep, this mine is being attacked for the first time in a while. This is a very new mine from the past couple minutes. I don't even have a... Okay, I really want to get started on the music thing, but... I do gotta put a radar down at this. Navigate through here. Alright. Here we are. This mine is already exhausted. Where'd that radar go? I already have one in the inventory. Oh well. Cool. Right, we go. Radar down, now we can see what's going on. And how much damage did that do overall? You can see while I was making this, I ran out of belts. I didn't want to have to keep going back and forth because this was like 5 minutes before the start of the stream I built this. Oh yeah, here we are. Decent attack. Probably coming from... Yeah, almost certainly coming from these guys. Do I want to do something about it? Can we bothered? These guys... Are these guys going to be a problem? Ooh, they are likely to be a problem. Build a few of these. Oh god. Yeah, build 9 flamethrower turrets. That shouldn't take too long. 130 iron gear wheels later. Alright, where are we going? Nope, there's a cliff there. Yes. Got logistic robots sorted. Very nice. Oh, I still gotta wait for these flamethrower turrets to be started out. Maybe I can just... Hang on, I've got a decent amount of ammo on me. Let's just do a little bit of sprinkling. A little scary because these cliffs here, I'm gonna have to go around like that and watch out for that rock. That rock will create problems. Oh bother. Oh, this is that wasn't good. Okay, okay. Just a little repair job. Nothing. No, nothing wrong. Nothing bad is happening at all. And back we go. Okay. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, just get out of there. Get out of there. Well. Okay, well I managed to get... Oh, I'm still quite close to the nest. Alright, what do I have? I've got nothing on me except a pistol. Alright, I hadn't quite prepared for this eventuality. I swear we'll get started soon enough, but I do gotta recover my stuff. How expensive is the car? Okay, that's not too bad. Just grab some stuff, some steel, some engine units. There's a bit there. Cool. I need some fuel. Fuel. For the car. I'm gonna want to build a machine gun. Where's copper? And I've got red ammo up here. What's the time? 10:18. Oh my goodness, This is the thing about Factorio. Time kind of passes quite fast, and it takes a while. It actually takes quite a while to do anything. And 9 entities are being damaged. Stop damaging my entities. My precious entities. Oh, these guys are out of them. Alright, cool, let's go on a drive. Let me just close that notification. Oh, there's a cliff there. Alright, so how close is... Oh, it's right next to it. On the right side, there's only 2 nests left. 2 spawners left. The nest is the collection of spawners. Okay. That was... okay, that was very stupid. Where's it? Okay. That was... maybe we just do a cheeky save from 8 minutes ago. I'll save from 3 minutes ago. Let's load that. Okay, here we are. Is this from before I died? It is. Nice. Okay, cool. Perfect. And there was nothing bad ever happened. Christ, it's been 20 minutes. I've been... Okay, Alright, let's just wait. Not bother destroying this nest. It's defeated me for now. Let's just... build this flamethrower turret. I think I need another one. Here we are. Another one that's been built. You can go there. Perfect. Alrighty. And now we hopefully shouldn't have to worry about those guys for quite a while. Alright, let's get back and actually get started on the actual purpose of this stream. I apologize for the distraction. That's just kind of what tends to happen in this game. All right, and also I apologize if my levels keep changing. I think I gotta get a compressor on this thing because I'm just a little far back and this is probably barely audible. But then I move forward and now it's likely too loud. So I apologize for that. Let me take a swig of water real quick. Right, let's keep going. I just want to collect some roboports. And how's this going? Kind of poorly. We still haven't finished. Okay, that's nearly done, and then we'll be making some whatever these are called, arithmetic combinators, I want to say. 10 roboports. I was kind of hoping we'd have a bit more, but that's alright. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these in my inventory. Oh, I'm gonna need belts. So I haven't prepared anything in advance when it comes to actually making music. I'm not quite sure how it works, what the best practice is. I've got a nice space for it down here underneath my pretty terrible oil setup that was very last minute. This was all yesterday, just trying to get something done. I didn't even bother powering that because I was low on power poles at the time, so I've got a random mix of medium and small ones. Okay, here we are. So this is where our music will be. Let me grab... Oh, I'm still not doing amazing on power poles. So, question is, how does this work? How do I create a simple drum loop? Let's start with something like that. And my initial idea involves belts. So if I do something like this, and then maybe create a literal loop. If I just put an item, and a piece of stone on this belt, will it, like, does it go round in a sort of consistent manner? Like, are these corner pieces the same, I suppose, length as the non-corner pieces? So let's do some... Oops, daisies. So I just wire this up like this. I haven't put... Okay. I keep pressing the wrong button. How do I get rid of this? Alright, there we go. And I have this read hold all bells. This is new. This wasn't in Factorio 1.17 or whatever. Signal sent continuously as long as the items on this belt are okay, I see how that is. Anyway, I want this to be pulse. I want all of these to be pulse actually. How do can I do this? Yes, okay, that seemed to work. So now all of these are getting some sort of signal. So if I just say any signal, there's anything greater than 0. There we are. That created something that should loop. So if it is sound slash... Oh, so there's like... Oh, okay, so it's just like that. So this is a kick, and I have this kick just looping now. This is the one that has the kick drum. And if I do this... So now every sort of second one of these, you can see there's a little light on there, but you can hear that the corner ones are just a little slower. It's a bit of a shame. The corner ones are just a tiny bit like they've just got a bit of delay. It's just a bit of a... yeah, when the piece of stone... And stone was the wrong choice here, because you can barely see it. But there's just a bit... Whenever it turns the corner, it just takes just a tiny bit longer to turn the corner. It'll be more obvious when I add a snare as well. Which snare sounds the best? Maybe not that one. Okay, I think snare 2 probably works the best. Kick 1, focus snare 2, kick 1, snare 2. Oh, yeah, and this one doesn't with the anything greater than 0. So yeah, now we got we've got a drum loop. It's it's not an amazing drum loop, but it's, you know, there's progress there. One thing I'm worried a little bit about is that using this particular strategy, this isn't the very fastest we can go, but we can't really get a lot more dense than this. Like red belts, they transport 30 items per second, 15 items per second. So the red belts are twice as fast. So like da 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 will be the fastest rhythm that we can go using this particular method, because I don't have blue belts unlocked yet. So there's that. How far are blue belts? I mean, I never use red belts anyway, even though I probably should. It's in logistics 3, I think. Where blue belts, where are you? Okay, well, who knows where blue belts could be found? Oh, here they are. It requires purple science. Okay, we're not doing that. Ah, yeah. Well, that's the stream, everyone. See you all next time. Nah, there's some promise in this, but I think, oh no. So this is the one area in which I have used. I have used these sirens in order to see whenever this inserter starts moving stuff, there's an alarm that goes, because this is my coal supply. This is my entire coal supply, and my coal supply is basically my entire source of power. I really don't want this to become just like a general Factorio expanding the base stream. Maybe we can just... How are we doing for petroleum? Okay. Alright. One quick diversion. We made a start with this drum loop, okay? But now... Oh, we're literally right here. Nice. What I'm gonna do is... just so we can actually... we'll be getting moving on the music thing in a second, but I gotta... I gotta wait for these to manually craft. Okay, but while that's happening... Roboport. Here. I got some construction plots nearby. Beginning to sound quite annoying. Robot request. What on earth is this? Yeah, this is another thing in the new version of Factorio. I don't know what this does. Let me just get rid of it for now. There we are. Request worker robots from other roboports to station in this roboport. Ah, okay, that's nice. It means your robots get spread out a bit. That's an improvement to how it used to be, which is good. Is there a way to turn this off? There it is. Thank God, that was beginning to go on my nerves. This is the problem where the heavy oil is full. Can I be bothered doing heavy oil to light oil cracking? I need water. Screw it, this just needs to work for this stream. Let's just turn this into fuel. I'm stupid. I should have put these one forward. That's not what I'm looking for, it's this. I don't know how fast this recipe is. I apologize. This is not supposed to be a general Factorio stream. This is supposed to be a music making stream, but that's kind of how the cookie crumbles when it comes to Factorio. Like I could have done this in a oh shit! I've been picking. I should have done this I could have done this in a sandbox mode, but I felt like it'd be more fun to do it in like an actual live sort of world where like there's actually factory stuff going on. And I have reaped what I've sown when it comes to that. Okay, here we are. Alright. Fuel should no longer be a problem. Hopefully. That alarm should hopefully stop going off. Although actually, hang on. Yeah. No, the alarm should hopefully stop going off, but just in case. Let's put this in here just to make sure. Because when this chest empties, then this speaker activates and it makes an even more annoying alarm. So that's there's a this alarm is annoying enough. I've been, I miss belts. I miss being able to step over pipes. There was a mod that I've been playing a while back that activated pipe stepping over, and it was very useful. Okay. So, you know, drum loops are great, but I'm wondering what is the best way? So, circuit connection settings here. We've got anything. It was saying signal value is pitch. The value of the input circuit network signal determines the musical note that will be played. I think that's something that I'm gonna have to take into account. I'm not gonna want to be using like a different speaker for every note. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe that is a good way of doing it. But like, do I want to? Like, I think making use of the signal value being the pitch is quite useful. You know, if I have something like I can just handcraft a bunch of these. But I've also got right. So if I have a constant combinator, that's group assigned. What's this way? Is it just a group? That outputs say I wonder. Sure, this can be track track 0. Outputs a track 0, a track 1, a track 2, a track 3. Let's say outputs something like that. I don't know. So this is like a note on like each of these like sort of signal value. This is gonna get confusing. Each of like these, so the big 0, the name of the signal corresponds to like the track number, and then the amount of the signal might correspond to the note that's being played, is my idea. So if I have something like let's do something simple. Let's do okay, so this is 10. I don't think there's going to be any easier way of adjusting the notes than this. But this, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to type out the melody to Mary Had a Little Lamb. So 10, 8, 6, 8, 10, 10, 10. Yes, the alarm did stop. Thank God. Hopefully it will stay off, but I can't promise anything. This factory is running on it is a house of cards. It could explode at any point. But you know, the danger is what makes it good, I reckon. So I'm thinking I might have a line of some of these. A line of these programmable speakers that are connected to something like I think I'm gonna have to this is where the decider combinator comes in. And I've messed this up. Alright, hang on. So the idea is that I have and more of these. Oh my god, these are so expensive. This is why I began to automate these. Let's see what is our progress on the decider on the various combinators. So far we've got. Good thing I checked because the pipes filled with engine units for some reason. Okay, how on earth did that happen? Well, how did that happen? Alright, I think engine units are allowed to be on this pipe. I think this is... Yeah, no, engine units should be on this pipe. So why did I think that that wouldn't happen earlier? That was obviously going to happen. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Unfortunately, I've only got these. Let me get rid of this because I think these decider combinators are going to be more important. And I'll use a yellow inserter, that way we don't take too many. These use about 5 each. Hang on, here it is. 5 each. Okay, here we are. We've now got this automated kind of. Perfect. This is cool. This needs to be filtered. I nearly just replaced the problem with something that would not have solved the problem in the slightest. Okay, here we are. That'll do. And I'm gonna make this a fast inserter. I initially was gonna make it a slow inserter, but I think this is just going into making more flying robot frames, which I think we've got plenty of construction bots now. You know, speaking of which, I gotta... Oh, did I not just get logistics? Why do... Ah, here we are. Storage chest. Let's build a bunch of these. So here we are. These are... No. Logistics chests. Definitely do that. These should have the same filters. They do. Nice. Okay. Alright, Roboport. This is a good place for a Roboport, although, no, these aren't connected, aren't they? Yeah, this? Nope, these Roboports are not connected. Okay, that's a fine place for a Roboport. Okay, damn it, I'm gonna need another Roboport over here, unfortunately. Who put these blades? Who put those chests there? Here. That'll do. And that's already cool. Great. So now these are logistics chests. So, these are storage chests. Okay, so hopefully I can now just copy this, paste it a bunch, and hopefully, here we are, we got some construction robots that are on their way to pick up some of these decider combinators. I need to put more lights about the place. This is another bad habit that I have of just never putting lights anywhere. And they're gonna very slowly bring these down to here. Brilliant. Okay. And power is another thing that I need to... The power is a thing I need to be worried about. Oh, that's fine actually. Okay, so my idea is, well, oh Jesus, I haven't played this since the... I've played a little bit of the new Factorio, but I haven't really played this since before like 2.0 and oh boy, how do these work? So the plan is these sort of combinators sort of act as like a sort of timing. So like the idea is that, you know, all of like this sort of, I don't know what you might call like the sort of MIDI sort of thing is stored in here, and then some sort of signal somehow decides, okay, this is the one that exists. So add, what was, so something like output, yeah, okay, alright. So, red network. Okay, so Here we are. I think I've got it. So something like this, and then the green network would be connected like this, and it'd be, I suppose, some sort of clock here. And if the green, the clock signal, which I'll mark with a C, is equal to 0, let's say, then we output the inputs from red. And input signals equals that. I mean, C does equal 0, so... And I'll make sure this is toggled on the red network. So that is like that. And the output goes on the red. Wait, hang on. Output. Aha, output everything. There is no power as well. I gotta sort that out. Output signals, cool. Great. And then if I have this one should be C equals 1, and maybe there's a better way of doing this, but I might have to just manually go and add all of these numbers, which might be a pain. Yeah, okay. Hopefully there's a better way of doing this. And yeah, ideally I'd also move these up so I can fit some power poles in. But then I have some sort of clock, and I'm not an expert on how this works, but let me just do a simple sort of belt clock for now. Let's use a fish as our little oscillator. I'm trying to think, how does this work? There's like a feedback component where... Welcome to Baby's First Factorio. Let's just go here to here. Oh, let's see. So output C. And the input should be... Right, there's a little feedback component to this. Although this just says output C. There's nothing about the amount that it outputs, which is curious. Okay, I think they've changed the way these work, which is a little awkward. Each thing... The idea is that... And this isn't actually connected. Pulse. This will pulse, which sends... Oh, here we are. That... Okay, I don't really know what I did there, but that worked. That was what I wanted to have happen, so... Okay, that cool. And then... Perfect, let's just do that. And then I should probably find a way to reset this. Okay, but... Alright, so now... There's not really outputting... Output signals 0, 10. It shouldn't be outputting anything because C is not equal to 0. Oh wait, hang on. There we are. And that means I need to go and do this again and do this again and there's gonna be a better way of doing this. I think I have an idea, but it's it's not great. But I can have a signal that just goes. Okay, let's just start with the way I'm doing it now by automatically putting in these numbers, and I can fix it later. I think I've definitely skipped one of these or something. Also going to be difficult to debug. Perfect. Okay, but we've got our counter, which is incrementing, and I got to figure out how to reset it. And let me, before I do that, let me actually place these speakers. Definitely make this be a red signal. Okay, now, signal value is pitch, the signal is signal 0. Category, let's make it piano for now. And oh, this is the same. And if I've done this right, when I disconnect and reconnect this green wire, it should hopefully play Mary Had a Little Lamb. But well, it didn't quite go as exactly as intended, but something happened. Okay, let's think here. That is C equals 0, C equals 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well. 0, 1, 2. Yeah, that should be 3. 1, 2, 3. That should be 4. It's 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 5. Maybe 6? Hang on, have I gotten this right? Yeah, that should be right. Okay, let me try it again. Oh, this top bit isn't even connected. Okay, can you see what I'm trying to do? Like, it's almost working, but like, also not. This oscillator needs to be quicker. I need to make a. How do I make this go quicker? Maybe if I do something. Okay. In hindsight, maybe I should have practiced working with these. But one thing I'm gonna do is I'm definitely gonna get rid of this sort of manual way of deciding what is which. Instead, go with a. How am I gonna do this? I suppose what I can do is get rid of all this nonsense. I love that I can just do that now. Cut all this, paste it here. Have a bunch of arithmetic combinators like this. Actually, this, put them all here instead. It's beautiful. Assuming that I actually have the assuming that, and I've got the stuff on the way. Okay, perfect. So the idea here is that we check to see if C, our clock signal, which is being run here, is equal to T, our time signal, which clock and time, maybe that's not a very good naming convention. How about our beat signal place? Yeah, we'll call it T for time. But yeah, we take our input T, we add 1 to it. So this output should be, and we just output T. Here we are, this outputs T, and now how this works, and actually I want to place these like this. They're not gonna, they're not quite smart enough to realize they can just move it one over, they have to move it there and back again. Okay, that's fine, although it doesn't mean I do kind of need to awkwardly wait for these. But what I can do now is okay, these will also connect like that. Like that, okay, nice. So these connect like that. This equals T plus 1, and what I do I think the best way of doing this is to use the green signal and do, I think, like a shift register. No, not a shift register. I don't know. Like I sort of shift the signal like this. So this should, hang on, and these need to have power. Power. There you are, you've all got power. And you can see this outputs T equals 1, T equals 2, T equals 3, T equals 4, T equals 5, T equals 6. And then, instead of this being awkward, I just say it's equal to T. And it should work. Okay, so if I get rid of the spire, and make sure that everything's powered. Okay, I should get those substations, which was... Okay, arithmetic combinator. I think I need to put like a sorta... I think what I can do maybe... This combinator, I can put a sorta... grab another decider combinator, put it like this, and it just outputs what this is. It just outputs itself. I gotta wait for it. Can I do this? I can. Nice, okay. I don't think I could do that on the previous version of Factorio. What I could do is this just outputs the input on the given thing that if R equals 0, then this just outputs and the R equals 0 will happen on the red line. Red network not connected. Yes, hang on. I should move this down here. What I definitely should do is this. Nice. Okay. So then I can set this to R if I want. And if R equals 0, if R doesn't equal 0, no, if R equals 0, that's right. And that has to be, that's not signal 0, that's constant 0. That could have been an easy mistake to make. Then it will just output whatever is on the red. And then instead of this... Wait, hang on, output... Wait. No, the reset set's on the red, so this is on the red. And then it's just... Then it just outputs whatever on the... It's on the green. Ah, that's already connected. Cool. Alright. Okay, well, we've got some weird oscillations happening. Damn, I was really hoping we wouldn't have weird oscillations happening, because I don't quite know how to deal with that. But if I set R equal to 1 briefly, this takes whatever signal it is, it adds each of the signals that it gets in. That's how that works. And it takes the total output and goes to C. I think that's how it works. Hang on, I'm gonna have to. Let's just, how do I turn these off? I thought that would turn it off. Hang on. Turn off the power. There we are. Okay. That's our kill switch, is turning the power off. In which case, actually, maybe I should have a power switch. After all, why not? Why shouldn't I have a power switch? Yeah, hang on. This connects to here, and then this connects to here, and it's a power switch. I can turn it on and off. Beautiful. Okay. I gotta. Why is this so low? Oh, because I just turned the power off. How is our power going? It's fine for now. Okay. Time is 11, so I've been doing this for an hour, which is as long as my regular streams go, and I've kind of barely started on this music thing, so I might have to... Oh, what on earth is this? I might have to maybe make a part 2 to this stream, although I'll keep going for now. What is Logistics Networks? Oh, okay. That's also new. Right. Let me figure out how these work. Let me move this over here. So, if I do this, if I do each and then output, I don't know, E for example, and if I just input many things, just we are W, Y, H. And actually I should change the order so that the H is here and the Y is here. Really asking ourselves the big questions. There is a question mark. Nice. Okay, so I can, get this Y signal. It's not outputting anything. If I do plus. Okay, so it does take... So if I do each, then it does add everything up. This is interesting. That makes some sense, I suppose. So cool. Wait, how did I... Oh, it put it in alphabetical order. I was wondering, how did it get all switched up? I'm gonna take a cheeky drink while we ponder that question. Okay, so I know how that works now. The awkward thing is I do want kind of... I do want to like be working on this live, but without anything being put into here. I bet this was... Let me think. I want this... If I do... If I do this... Okay, we're not getting any sound, that's good. That's because this is to the wrong side of the power network. Okay, let me do this, and then hopefully I can... Alright, cool, that fits. And then I can put this... Yeah, I do have to... but that's alright, so I can disconnect this. Cool, alright. So let me... So R equals 1 right now, so it should be in the reset loop. So that means we take everything that is in our inputs in both the green and the red, and we output it if R isn't equal to 1. So if R, if R is present, then we don't do that. R is present, so we are not doing that. So we're not outputting anything at the moment. Now, this outputs on the green line. Apparently this has... Yeah, it's awkward because this... there's a... Like, I'm aware that each of these has a propagation delay. So I'm trying to think. Maybe I can... Is there a way I can sort of... I don't know. Let me go back to the way... let me go back to the way this was before without this. So I just had the green wire going like this. Now this is counting up without any issues. How do I make it so C becomes 0 without introducing a thing that creates a propagation delay that then creates like a feedback loop and an oscillation? That is the question. I think it definitely involves a Genuinely gave me the fright of my life. Where did they come from? Okay. Do I have a car in my inventory? don't have any fuel. I don't think I have anything that can turn into fuel. Oh, I've always always got plenty of wood on me. Where did they come from? Oh, I need to get repair packs in the... Where did they come from? That's very odd. There's no... Why that? Because none of the bases on this side aren't in the pollution as far as I'm aware. Why am I not moving? Oh, I hit a rock. The bases on this side shouldn't be doing anything. Because they're well away from any pollution. It's night time, so I can't see anything. That was genuinely gave me a quite the fright. Okay. I feel like it hasn't been nighttime for ages. Okay, that definitely came from directly. Let me craft a bunch of repair packs. Let's put some walls down, maybe. Let's just put this wall here. Some turrets, so I don't have any. I've only got flamethrower turrets. Alright, well, I guess cleansing power of flame will save us. I think there's plenty of oil around here. I think light oil is actually... Oh, this pipe is... I think heavy... Yeah, I think heavy oil is actually a good use for... Well, I gotta wait for these to be built. Okay, Right, what was I doing? Okay, so... This, senses the condition and then it sends the signal on the next frame. It sends... It outputs itself on the next frame. And so there'll be a frame where it's sort of... C counts up, but then I want it to stop counting up. That's when I I gotta break this connection, or maybe send like a negative C. That could work. I think that's probably the strat, is to send like a negative value of C. So I use a arithmetic combinator to that takes C and multiplies it by -1. Outputs that, and then a decider combinator which takes, which if R is greater than 0, then it will output C, the input count of C. That's how That's how I think that should work. Okay, so something like that. This can be green. So, R equals 1 right now. This outputs -C, which we can feed in to here. And we now have... yes. We now have some oscillations happening, unfortunately. Z is oscillating between negative 100. Okay. There's something I gotta do here. Yeah. It's these oscillations that are difficult to deal with when you're making these loops. Because like, alright, this outputs negative 170 something. And then C's becomes 0, but then this is still outputting negative 170 something. So maybe if I like sort of... so then C becomes negative 170 something. And then we get... and then this outputs 170 something, and then C becomes 170 something. So it's like... yeah, it's just a little tricky. I'm trying to think what's the best way to get around that. So maybe some sort of reset signal that sets... maybe something like... this creates a propagation delay, but this also creates a... does this create a propagation delay? I'm not sure. If I get another one of these that doesn't do anything, will that fix things? I don't know, or maybe this needs to be somewhere else in the loop, like this sends a thing which sends this sends a signal, and then maybe that doesn't do anything, but then it creates a copy of this, which is where I suppose the feedback... so it does something like this, maybe? And here we are, okay. So, we've got C here. This has this sort of feedback inside it. But we have... something like this to this, and then this just doesn't do anything. This just outputs this input, so this actually would need to be the decider combinator. That just outputs what it is, what its input is. So, you know. I think I just do input count of everything, and just have this be an always true thing. which I suppose can be the 0 signal equaling 0. That's always true, and it becomes the thing. And now this is, I believe, outputting the output signal. I did that in the red wire. No. No, okay. I gotta, yeah. Okay, well, in that case, let's just allow C to just go up quickly. Let's just have moving the green thing be let's change this to C. And then this actually I'm struggling. This is that. This outputs each +1, +0 actually, and it outputs it on the C line that combines everything like this here. Cool. Okay, I just can't help feel like there's a very simple solution that I'm just overlooking, but whatever. One thing I need to do. Oh, I suppose what I can do is this. I do all these for good measure. If I power this, off, will that reset our signals? I think it will. In which case, that actually functions as a reset. If I connect this on this side, so these don't have any power, although it's still weirdly enough, it still has, it still has its like internal value, I think, but it's not being powered. Like E still is equal to that. The question is, these should only be outputting anything when C is equal to the signal T, which this shouldn't be outputting anything. E equals T. Oh, but this isn't getting C. Whoops daisies. There we are. Okay, nice. Okay, so I will have to manually do that, undo and undo that wire, because I can't think of a good way to reset it manually. I mean automatically. It's a bit of a shame, but what are you gonna do? But if I do this and then that, and this actually has to be on while I do that. Turn this off. Okay, here we are. C now equals 0. Well, it kind of works. One thing I've also noticed is that I need this to pulse rather than stay on, otherwise it sort of repeats the sound. So roll this back. And does that also fixes the connections, which is good in some cases, but is actually bad in this case. I don't want these connections to be maintained. Because now what I gotta do is take this connection here and find a way to pulse it for a small amount of time. Which maybe something like if 0 is 0 is greater than well no, because that's gonna I need a thing to like take 0 okay, hang on. I think I was wrong. I think I do need this connection. But then this also gets like I said, a just regular feedback connection as well, which I guess I'll put on the green line. Which this connection doesn't do anything, it just provides a delay. And then maybe it sort of changes the value of this just provides a delay. So we provide a dot equals 0 since 0 is actually a signal that gets used. Maybe I should have thought a bit. If dot equals 0, which it always will, then just output the input. Output everything in the inputs. And I can add conditions. I forget I can add conditions. But maybe that's an arithmetic. I can have several conditions in the one, or that, and I can add outputs. So I do this. It outputs everything. Now I've got one signal that has one thing. Well, maybe I should put it on a different. I put this on slash for cutoff. It outputs slash if signal 0 does not equal 0. And we finally have another decider combinator. So I was actually right the first time. I do want to get rid of these. Oopsies. I've got. So I add a. Sorry, my brain froze for a second there. So this now connects to here. Oopsies. Is it the same? I think so. So I can copy this and paste it a bunch of times. Disconnecting and connecting the grid. So actually, let's copy this and paste it a bunch of times. The idea here. The idea So this just provides this doesn't provide a delay. This does a slash if it detects a 0, but then there will be a delay. So then if a slash is present, then if a slash is not present, then just output whatever is there. And I think that will hopefully work. That is the hope. That's the theory. Let me move these all down one so I can hit power poles. C still equals 12. Let me do this. C still equals 12. Okay, I have to turn this on and then back off in order to make C equals 0 there. That's a very awkward reset sequence. I gotta think of something better. But if this works the way that I hope it does, which I certainly hope it does. Oh, and these aren't. This no, this is connected? No, this isn't connected to anything. Okay. But if, oh, I gotta do this. Slightly worried that slash is on actually, but I don't really think it should be. I suppose C does equal 0, so B equals 0, so we've got our output happening. These aren't outputting anything. And because it's been happening for a while, so we need to initially set this to, or what I can do is, probably one of these, put it here. Right here. Okay, so that should hopefully do what I want it to do, which is sort of start the timing on C equals 1 rather than C equals 0. And I've actually got one of these, so I can just do that. Cool. Let's try. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Well, okay. Turning off the power is also an annoying thing that I don't want to have to do. And I gotta reset C now. Okay, this is more. I'm not gonna lie, this is more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. I was thinking I'd be far more progressed than this after about an hour and a half, but that's how it goes. Okay, nothing happened. These aren't connected to anything. These need to be connected. Oops. Okay. Alright. Reset C again. Turn the power on. That's fine. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully this works. It almost worked. It is just missing the... It was missing the final... It was missing the first note. But I hope you can see what I was trying to do. Let me expand this so we can get a sort of better picture of what this is supposed to sound like. Let me maybe set up these power poles up in a more consistent manner. Actually, no, this is a fine place for the power pole to be. Hang on, let me... Julia's. Okie dokie. And let's just go and make these power poles nice and consistent, except they've gone and not done that, even though I placed them in the same position. Let's get rid of this power pole. I'm gonna get the power poles to look nice and even. That'll do. If I do this and I paste it a few times, and then I make sure to add green wire here in these crucial places. I can write a tiny little melody, so let's just says 0 since that's at this play. So this should be 20. This would be 18. So I'm now writing a melody here, which will hopefully play so 20, 18, 16, 18, 20, 20, 20. This will be nothing. Let's copy this 18 and put it here. This should all be 18s. This should be a nothing. And 20. This is not the most user-friendly interface. 20, this should be 23. This should also be 23. Okay, a bunch of these aren't connected to anything because I don't have power poles on the robot network. Okay, if this works, I'm gonna call the stream here. I'm gonna call it a day. Oops, shit. Okay, well, this is still counting up. Of course it is. Alright, let's see how this goes. Mary had a little lamb. Well, well, something turned off. Let's see. She's still counting up. We got 14, 15. There's a missing output. Are there any other missing outputs? Yes, here. Then the question is, why did it then proceed to stop forever? Why did it... Nothing else seemed to continue. Okay, well... And then it stops. Okay, this still needs some work. Okay, I'll try and work on this for the next wee while. It's okay, 12 is the hard deadline for the end of stream, but I do want to get this to kind of work. And I'm not sure why it's stopping. No, 18. And I can see if all of these are in the top right. I can see if there's any wires missing from any of these decider combinators or something. Oh, there's the occasional missing. Ah, ha 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 ha. Okay, so I just noticed something, that if you look in the top right, you can sort of see where the wires are connected and where they're not connected. So, like if I look here, if you look at the top right, just under the map, you see there's a green wire to the left and right, but now there's only one on the left. So that was the problem. Oh, that's not where that's supposed to go. I'll try that again. There we are. And okay, this should hopefully work now. So is this, what's the shortcut for these, by the way? Alt G. Oh, shit. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, Mary had a little lamb. We did it. That's... Oh, that was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, oh yeah, you just do the thing and then it just works, you know, set up the clock, get it running, you know, just have... it'll just work super easily, you know, just set up all these layers, yeah, whatever. But no, it turns out there are some difficulties. Yeah, I gotta figure out. I know there's a way to like do this sort of reset signal. I've seen people do it before, but I can't remember what the way to do it is. Anyway, let's just listen to that one more time. I mean, this is not the most pleasant sound. Hang on, I think this is because. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce Mary had a little lamb. We did it. The greatest musical achievement that mankind has ever achieved. Alright. I'm gonna call it there. I did not expect that to be anywhere near as difficult as it was. I thought that would like it. Perhaps I'm naive, but I thought that would go a lot smoother. I thought that would be like, you know, oh, you just set up the things in a line and then you get the signal to go through forward. But no. I mean, like, look at... Like, this is what I expected it to look like, make no mistake, but it is a bit of a mess of wires. I didn't think I'd be relying on stuff like, you know, the fact that these sort of, like, take one frame to proliferate over... Like, I didn't think I'd be relying on, like, you know, getting, like, slight delays in order to, like, have a signal appear for one frame. I was kind of hoping I didn't have to worry about that sort of thing. But I did have to worry about that sort of thing in the end. But that's alright, because we've, you know, successfully done it. I'm going to play it again. It's beautiful. It's the greatest thing anyone's ever heard, and I just noticed that these flamethrower turrets that I put here are not connected to any oil. So I'll quickly do that. And then, yeah, no, I remember completely forgetting about that, actually. I remember, you know, I constructed these underground pipes explicitly so I could then attach these flamethrower turrets, and it was going to be with heavy oil. Alright, so let me just put these together. And I'm now out of pipes. Perfect. It's amazing. Oh man, that was... I think the highlight of the stream was probably me getting scared shitless by those spiders that appeared out of nowhere. And then proceeded to not appear again. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I mean, this isn't the sort of stream I usually do, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. I mean, next week I might go on to this again, because I don't think I've got my keyboard next week either. We'll see. Alright. Goodbye. Hang on, I gotta start a raid. That's how these tend to work. I've got... You can't see this, I've got a little, like, sort of stream end protocol. Tank boxes are change scene to end stream. I haven't actually implemented that. So, this is the end stream scene. Alright, let's do a raid. Which button is it? It is this one. Is it going to give me Factorio streams, or is it going to give me music streams? It's giving me Factorio streams. Let's see here. This is Factorio making art in space. That seems interesting. Yeah, let's check out. I'm gonna. Wait, actually, I don't wanna confirm that I'm gonna raid a person if I don't. Oh, hang on it. I shouldn't have their audio on my stream. That might be dangerous. Let me turn the desktop audio off. Their audio on. Yeah, I can't really hear anything coming from their stream. I'm not sure if that's my end or not. But yeah, sure. Let's raid Fernburner. Raid Perhaps one day I will I'll have this process unlocked in like a smooth manner, but today is not that day. Okay, I'm gonna raid now, and then I'm gonna say goodbye. No, I should say goodbye first and then raid. Alright. Goodbye.